Today we are going to do a run through of Arena, the contest, Dragori board game, and we are going to play the introductory mission, Lava Citadel. Things that could kill you, torches, sorceries, scorches, evil forces. So we're going to play this mission or quest, and got our 4 heroes here, and reset this. So we have Carrion the Rogue, he's a tactician. Thalia the Druid, she's a healer. Katharina the Witch, she's a controller. And Qatar the Barbarian, he's a brute. Now you can only have one of the different classes. You couldn't have 2 controllers or anything like that. You have to have 4 different class types. Each character then gets their 4 attacks, your 2 special and 2 primary. And we'll talk more about those as we go through the game. You also get to pick 2 heroic actions. And there's 7 different ones. You get to pick 2 of them. You also take your special ready token. That indicates when you are ready to, if you use your special ready and after you use it, you flip this to the no special. And then we also have over here, which I'll have to shuffle those. These are the evil power cards, and they are used when you, for the AI of the enemy. So in this particular quest, we have 3 orcs that are on the board. They are the Sentinel orcs, and you put the color bases which coordinate with these cards over here. So you have a green base, the green orc, and obviously, as you can see, there's no stats on here. The stats are given to you by the particular quest that you do, so they're going to change as you go. And the reason why they do still have the card, though, is so when you do a certain attack, sometimes there are effects, and the effects, the card can be left on the creature that is affected by it as a reminder that they're hastened or blessed or cursed or whatever it may be. It's a neat way to do that, and then at the beginning of that character's turn, most of the time those things come back. So it's actually a really good way to keep track, because all these cards are represented on the card as well, on the player stat board. So they are just, again, repetitious of this, but it allows you to play it on the enemy or ally that you're giving an effect to. So real quick, again, there's a great rules overview video by Dice Tower that they've already done to go over into the rules. But real quick, each character has hit points, which are represented on the track. This is a hit point track around the side. It can also represent time and other things like that, experience. But so all of them have 60. Qatar has 65. Then you have your base attack, which in this case is 7 damage, 7 defense, and 6 movement. You also have your tactic, or your passive power, which in this case is tactics. There's usually a trigger that sets it off, and then whatever effect that comes from it. Definitely remember those. I've forgotten to do those a few times, and they can be very helpful. And then, of course, you have your primary attacks, special attacks. Primary attacks, you can just use one of your attacks when you go. The special attacks, though, you have to have this special ready available. And then once you use one, it flips, so nobody else can use it during that same turn. Then you have to skip a turn before you can flip it back and use it again. So it's pretty powerful. Same with your heroic actions as well. You have to flip this token, so definitely got to plan out when you want to use that. Other than that, the setup, again, is given to you in the book, and basically it'll show you everything, or all the tiles go. They're again outlined, as you can see, in white, and that pretty much shows you what's put out on the initial setup. On the bottom here, all the labels are down here. If it's got red, in this particular case, these red outline tokens don't come out until event 2. So your boss and your other orcs don't come out until event 2. There are other event actions that can occur based on activating different things on the board as well. So again, we have lava tokens, which can cause 4 damage if you enter them or cross over them. Got walls, which you can't shoot through. We have locked doors, and we have some levers here. I wish I would have got the 3D terrain. I've seen some unboxings of that, and it looks really nice, but tokens are great. And then we have 3 of the prisoners, which are represented by these figures here. And we have 3 chests, which are next to them, next to the prisoners. And then we have the arcane orb, which is a bad thing because at the beginning of every turn, the first player takes 8 damage from the arcane orb, energy damage. So, and you can't stop it. So whoever goes first is going to take 8 damage. Until we can shut it off. So that's one of the main things we need to do is get to that. We need to defeat the boss, and that'll win it. But if we can shut that off, and we can also free all the prisoners, we can get bonus experience for that. So it's always points for that. So let's get started. Okay, so basically every character gets 2 actions, and they do have these nice little cheat sheets. So cheat cards, and during your action you have a move action, which can be comprised of it, and they kind of put it into points. You have 6 movement points, so during your move action you can use that to move 1 hex orthogonally or diagonally. Sidestep, which you have to use all your movement. We'll use that, talk about that later. Provide first aid or pick or transfer items. And then during your prime action you can do an extra move action, heroic action, basic attack, primary attack, or special attack. So those are the things you can do. Your basic attack in general, the main thing you're going to use that for is your reaction attack. So if somebody steps away from you, which we'll talk about later, but that's mainly when that basic attack is going to be used. Most of the time you're going to be using one of your primary attacks to attack an enemy. And that's basically it. So we will start, and remember the first person to go is going to take 8 damage. So I do have a little combo with 2 of my characters here, so I'm going to go ahead and start with Guitar. I'm going to have him go 1, 2, and I'm going to have him actually get in contact with both of them. And so that's his movement, and then he will do the Berserker Strike, which attacks basically your card. You have what it is. It's a melee attack. I can attack somebody 1 square away. It's 1 enemy I can hit. It does 13 damage plus any effects. The effects are you may move the target up to 2 squares after you hit it, and then that's nice because there's lava. And then the target is exposed, and then it ends if it's used, meaning if somebody uses exposed against the enemy, then it goes away. Otherwise, it's going to come back to Qatar at the start of his next turn. And then if I miss, the target takes 5 residual damage. So we'll give that a shot. So I'm going to move this over here so you can kind of see it. And 12. So that's going to be a hit. The defense, which let me show you. So again, like I said, each mission has its own stats for the orcs. And the orcs are the sentinel figures, and they're 30 hit points. 7 base attack, 6 defense, 6 movement, so we definitely rolled over the defense. They have a Furious Blow as their primary attack. Again, 1 square, melee, 1 enemy, 12 damage plus effect. The effect, though, is they get to move a target 1 square towards the nearest lava, and they also have the 5 residual damage. So you got to be real careful being near that lava because they'll push you into it, and then you got to take 4 damage, and that's not good. So we hit. So he is going to take 13 damage. And that is going to be the orange one. So that was our target, which I didn't declare, but that's who it was. So 13 damage, and so 30, 20, 17. And then they also have the effect. So I can move the target up to 2 squares. So I'm going to go ahead and just move him here. And he is considered exposed as well. So he's going to take 4 more damage from that. So it's going to take him down to 13. I'm going to take this card and put it on there because he's exposed. And now his turn is over. So now I'm going to go to Carrion, the rogue. and he is going to go. And 1, 2. Now he has two different things. He has one attack that can actually attack 2 squares distance. There is like a reach weapon. Use a pole arm, it's 2 squares. So could do that, but I want to do this backstab. And the reason being is for the effect is the target takes +5 damage is if it is exposed. So I can get extra damage out of it, and I already do 11. So I could do 16 damage right there, and that would eliminate the orc in that one attack if I hit. If I hit. And I have not been rolling well. 13. There we go. So, based on that, with the ability, which now is going to come back because it's been utilized, I'm going to do +5 damage, 11 damage, +5, 16. So, boom, he is gone. So that was pretty quick. That was a nice little fast eliminate, in 2 attacks, we've gotten rid of one of the orcs. Okay, although I did put Carrion in kind of a bad position because he's close to the lava, but hopefully Qatar will absorb the damage here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to give him his 8 damage. So 57 there. All right. Oops, 8. What am I thinking? Yeah, 57. All right. So sometimes I math, All right, so here we go. Let's see. We'll go ahead and do Katharina the Witch. And she has, I'm going to move her here. She has a ranged attack of 8. So I'm going to have her do vulnerable. So Black Plague. Which basically Black Plague has the effect of making one vulnerable. And if you're vulnerable, again, you have your handy dandy little cheat card here, which shows all your conditions. And vulnerable is you take +3 damage when hit by an enemy. So it can do some more damage by another attack by somebody else. It does 11 damage. Again, 8 squares, 1 enemy. So we're going to do that. See what we get here. 9. So that's going to be enough. Again, the orc's defense is 7. So we are going to do 11 damage. And that's on the gray orc sentinel. So 11 will get us down to 19. And he is vulnerable. So again, we'll take the card, put it on there to remind us that vulnerable. Okay, and now we will do Thalia the Druid. Now Thalia is also the same. She is has a ranged attack, and I'm going to have her attack the same guy. And she's got 2 things. One of them she can do called the Shield of Flowers. It's kind of nice because then it'll an ally within range is immune to damage from the next primary attack. So that's kind of cool. Again, does damage to the enemy, and it also protects your hero. Or I can also do Nymph's Kiss, which does 6 damage, so it's less damage, but you can heal somebody and also make them blessed and hastened. So blessed meaning you get to roll twice, keep the best roll. Hasten meaning that you can break away from an attack and not get a reaction attack. So both great things to have. But I think I want to do more damage, so I'm going to do Shield of Flowers. So again, she's got a range 8, so I just had her move. And one thing too is the vision. Can she hit the target? Lava's not going to block anything, but basically you take a point from any corner on the hex that she's in or square that she's in and draw it to any point or corner of the enemy. And of course, there's nothing that blocks it, but so here to there has vision. Okay, 3. So I missed. So there you go. There's one of my starting my bad rolls. So I rolled a 3, she missed, but it's still going to do 5 residual, and unfortunately the effects aren't going to apply, but we still do 5, so it's not a bad thing. Take it down to 14, and we are done. So we finished our turn. We did not use our special, so we still have that available. Still have these Heroic Rival. and heroic defense. So I kind of picked things that are a little bit more helpful, reviving a dead ally and protecting your heroes, but we're not going to worry about that now. And we go into, oops, I need to shuffle these real quick. Okay, oops, that was flipped over. So again, these are the evil powers, so these are used by the villains for their attacks. So I'll draw the top card, and we have bone armor. So, power, villains are toughened once per turn and deal 13 damage on their basic attack. So they're going to do 1 more damage, basic attacks. So here's an example of command, make a basic attack against the nearest hero with the lowest hit point. So they're going to use a basic attack because they're going to do more damage. The good thing is if they use a basic attack, they are not going to be using their Furious Blow, which moves us. So I don't have to worry about that, but they're toughened. And toughened means take -3 damage when hit. So they're actually going to be harder to damage, but they'll be attacking us for more damage, but it won't be won't get moved, so we don't have to worry about the lava, which is a good thing. All right. So since the command is, we'll start with him. He's already adjacent to Qatar, so there's not much, he's not going to move, and he will make his attack. And Qatar has a defense of 6. A 2. So there you go. That's when you want to roll bad. So he missed, so I don't have to worry about him. Then the green is going to move 1 and get into and do the same thing. A 5. Holy crap. All right. Well, that's great. Did not take any damage. They are still toughened, though. I'm going to put this over here. And they're vulnerable, or at least this guy's vulnerable. That's going to negate it. So basically, it's not going to affect him at all. And actually, it's just going to be the green. So I'll just put them right here. All right. Okay. So now it comes back to us. Now I got to decide to go first because they're going to take 8 damage from the orb. So I like to try to get that combo again. It's not a bad thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just have, well, as long as he goes before carry on. So let's go ahead and see if we can, and I don't want to Katharina because I want to keep her vulnerable. So let's go ahead and, I think I will just go ahead and have Qatar go first. So he's going to take 8 more damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boonk. All right. And one thing I have to admit, I haven't seen this in a lot of games, having a hit point tracker, and usually victory points, those kind of games have a tracker on the outside. Having hit points and you can literally see all your allies, all your enemies, where they're at hit point wise, all in one good look at the board. And it's kind of neat. It's something unique I haven't really, again, seen in a game before, and find it very helpful just kind of, in making decisions and stuff on where to go, who to attack. It's just a good broad view of everything in one good look of the board. All right. That was hard to get out. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to have him just stay where he's at. He's not going to move first. I'm going to have him attack first. And he will use, again, I'm going to use the Berserker Strike. So let's see here. Oops. Ooh, there's a big hit. So he hits 16. So again, 13 damage. Should have probably went after the gray guy. That's okay. So 13, take him down to 17. I can also move him up to 2 squares. So I guess I will just go 1, 2. So now he's going to take 4 more damage, which takes him down to 13, and he's exposed. So I will put that on him. Oh, and he's also toughened, which I forgot to do. So he's going to take 3 less damage. So we will take 3 back. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So now I think I'm going to go ahead and just do carry on the rogue. he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'm going to go 5 just to get me closer over there. And he is going to attack. And it's more backstabby looking, isn't it? And he's going to do backstab again because he's exposed, so he's going to do the extra damage. 18. Now remember, they're toughened, so they are going to get that little bonus. So he does hit. 18 is definitely going to hit. It's going to do 11 damage. So that will take him down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, why can't I count? And then he would take extra 5, but I got a -3, so I'll just go 1, 2. So if he wouldn't have been toughened, he would have been taken out of the game. Unfortunately, that stinks. Although it does say once per turn. So actually, he would not be toughened because he only would have got it once per turn. So that's going to be enough to get rid of him because his toughen was applied from Qatar's attack. Oops, wrong guy. So they are gone. So that worked. And now I'm going to go ahead and have her go because she could potentially heal. And I would like to heal Qatar if I could because he is down. So I'm going to have her do Nymph's Kiss. And again, it'll if she can hit, do damage, as well as heal 7 hit points. So I'm going to do that. And here we go. 8. So that's a hit. So that's going to be 6 damage. And that's on the gray, and he has the toughen, but he's also vulnerable. So basically, they're going to negate this attack anyways. The toughen applies, it negates it. So it's just going to be straight up damage, which is 6. Just going to take him down to 8, and then I'm going to let Qatar is going to be healed 7. Oh, I completely forgot about their abilities down here. So there's again the tactics or the passive powers. I passively forgot about them. Okay, so the target takes 5, and you're probably all screaming, the passive powers, the passive powers. So I forgot. And we'll take a quick look at that in a second here. So he's going to get 7 hit points back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now her passive power is, if you hit a target on your first part of your turn, an ally within range may regain 4 hit points, but it can't regain hit points again this turn. So it's already regained hit points from the spell. So now I can apply it to somebody else, and as long as they're within range, which is 8 squares. So I'm going to give it to, really, I think actually none of these have really been hit, so can't give it to anybody. So there we go. And for example, when he hit a target that is adjacent to one of your allies, which that particular character and that character weren't, so it wouldn't have applied. This one is hit a target in first turn, another enemy within 5 takes 4 damage. That would have applied probably, and I didn't do it. And then this one hit a target that isn't adjacent to any of your allies, and then they take 4 more damage. So made a mistake for getting those, but I know some probably wouldn't apply because they didn't fit the what was stated on the card. So let's go ahead and go to Katharina. And now this is going to come away because she used it. And all I have actually, he's gone anyway, so I don't know, or no, he's gone. So that would have come back. And again, once per turn, the toughness. So again, the toughness is going to apply here, but not for the extra damage. So here we go. She will use and we'll just go ahead and do Blood Curse. So again, this one, same thing, 11 damage, but they become cursed. So they got to take to roll twice, take the lower die, and the target takes 5 damage upon missing an attack. So they would actually hurt themselves if they miss. So let's try that out. And I'm going to go ahead and move her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to get them closer to some of the other areas. I should have moved her too, but I didn't. 18. Here you go. That's going to be a hit. So it's going to be 11, so he is going to be gone. So this is discarded. And there you go. We're going to go ahead and stop there, and I will start up again. Basically, there are no more enemies on the board. He's been eliminated. And now we got to start trying to free some of these prisoners and open these crates. You can heal you, and remember to use my passive powers. So I'll make sure and try to do that next time. We'll see you soon.